What is going on, guys? DBG here. And since yesterday's video hit 1,000 likes, we are going to be reacting to TYDEBO'S top 100 best cards in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM. So this video can hit 1,000 likes. That'd be insane. And lads, if you are not yet, go subscribe to Ty right here. If you are not yet subscribed. So, because this is an hour-long video, and I'm gonna pause it a few times. I don't want this video to be 2 hours long, so it's going at 1.5 speed.
What is good, yo? It's your boy Ty back here with another video, and in this video today, we are going to be ranking the last 100 cards in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM. The last top 100 cards in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM is what I should say. So this is endgame. We're not going to see any more content in NBA 2K21. So at this stage of the game, who are the final best 100 cards in?
I've also got my water here to take sips of anytime Ty makes a bit of an iffy decision.
I'm probably going to miss a couple of guys because there are 100 people.
Oh, without question. We all miss them.
A player or two, I do want to apologize, but these are the best of the best. The top players that you can get to build your squad around. Before we dive any deeper, if you are new to my channel and have not yet, please consider smashing the subscribe button, as we are on the road to 80,000 subscribers. We're going to start off here at number 100 with one of my favorite Galaxy Opals in the game.
100?
Jonathan Isaac, 6'11", 7'2", wingspan, hot spots from everywhere outside the three-point line.
Okay, this is going to be a good list.
25 on goal. Now, when this card first came out, I was a massive fan of him. There's
Still
just another
unbelievable.
card that I think does similar things that I have a little bit higher, and we'll get to that when it comes. But a 95 3-ball, 95 driving, 92 spot, 86 ball hitter, 92 speed acceleration, 97 lateral quickness. The downfall to Jonathan Isaac is that he doesn't have showtime. So if you do run the card, you're probably going to, if you're on current gen, want to apply showtime. On next gen, he's perfect, right? He's a perfect card on next gen. Not much.
He's unbelievable.
Jump shot 70 on very quick, especially on next gen, is fantastic. Shift your out, Pro 2 side escape with the Pro 3 move on the back. There's a lot to like with Jonathan Isaac. And like I said, Galaxy Opals are concerned, he is one of my favorite in the game. Now this is specifically for next gen in specific. Pink Diamond Nicholas, 6'9" wingspan, hot spots forever. I'd never run this card on current gen. I would never.
He's God on next gen though.
His release really.
He's God.
Blinders, and I just don't think he moves that well. Obviously, defensively, he's still going to be just
He's
fine.
God.
So the big thing
on
is he has
next
Hall of Fame blinders. So if you're on next gen, Hall of Fame blinders with the jump shot 40 is just fine. You can run Nicholas Batum and get by with it. Do I think he's the best card in the game? No. Do I think he's overhyped by DBG? Absolutely. But he's still fine on next gen. He's not a top 10 point guard in the game on either gen, but on next gen, he is still.
He's close on next.
At number 98. One step
better note him on
next.
next.
Is the Dark Matter Lamar Odom card.
Way better note him.
11 wingspan, hot spots from everywhere. 55 out of favors, 15 on gold. Now I can't really say anything bad. Maybe it's the LaMarcus Aldridge upper that I don't like, but there's just something about this card that
the Aldridge upper. That's what it is.
His movement doesn't feel that.
That's the problem with it. It's the Aldridge upper.
Is concerned. I've always loved Lamar Odom in 2K, so it's not to say I don't like this Lamar Odom card at all. He just didn't live up to the expectations. Is the best way I can phrase it for this Dark Matter Lamar Odom. Still a very solid player, but for the time he was released, which was June 11th, he just didn't quite live up.
No, he was okay.
One step ahead at number 97. We do see our
97.
This is one that really he's a tough guy to rank. Hot spots for 53 favors, 8 on gold.
He can run.
That, I mean, there's no real flaws in the card. He can handle the ball.
He can run.
Decent enough lateral quickness. There's just something about him that I'm not a big fan of. Like, if you look at his stats, right?
His jumper's iffy.
If you do this for Sabonis, I don't understand why people, or why me in specific, do not hype up Sabonis. Like, if you give him these two things, look at a card with a 99 3-ball, 98 speed, a 99 driving dunk, 93 speed ball, 91.
He's so good.
Yes, his defensive stats.
He's so good. His release is just iffy.
He's not one of the top centers in the game with all this.
His release, that's the problem.
The problem is by the time you apply the shoe, get D'Antoni, fully badge him out. Is he really worth that when you got guys like
his release,
even a Sean Bradley? That's where the tough part comes in. Sabonis is still fine. Maybe 97 is a little low, but I've just never really used the card. 96, we're going to talk about a very complete player just as he comes in the Galaxy with Darius Miles. 6'9", 7 foot wingspan, 210 pounds. Obviously,
yeah, I agree.
47 out favor, 16 on gold. Just look at the badges he needs. He doesn't really need anything, and that's why I'm putting him right here. You can pick him up as a Galaxy Opal. Doesn't need anything, and he's still going to be absolutely fantastic. Is he the best shooting guard point guard in the game? No, but you can add him to your squad. You're not going to notice.
If Jonathan Isaac's 100, I don't know what to.
You're going to be just fine. That's probably the one thing I struggle with Darius Miles is greening his shot consistently.
I don't know what to say.
If you can get that release down, the dude is absolutely fantastic. So we're going to kind of do a complete 180, going from a guy who can't green to a guy that greens legitimately everything. In the Dark Matter, Chris Middleton card, 6'7", 6'10", wingspan, hot spots from everywhere. 54 on fade badges, 9 on gold. 98
cone, call a cone, like
insanely good defensive stats. There's really only one downfall to cash money.
Can't shoot off the dribble.
The downfall to me is his player model. I'm not really
can't shoot off the dribble at all on next gen.
But the jump shot 56 on very quick is absolutely incredible. And I'm a big fan of what Chris Middleton brings.
I'd prefer Page, to be honest.
At number 94, we do see Yalen, 7 feet tall, 7'4" wingspan, hot spots from everywhere, 45
a little bit high, but good.
He's absolutely fantastic. For a Galaxy Opal card, I don't think this card ever got
the 7-foot shooting center.
For the time in which he came out, June 11th.
That's hard. That's hard to
shooting guard position.
Hard to think about.
So especially if you're on next gen, maybe the problem is at the shooting guard position. If you play him on next gen, he's going to struggle mightily on defense, being 7 feet tall. So compared to like a
yeah, he can't play on next gen. He's but I mean, he's good on current.
Moving his feet on the defensive end. But as far as the cheese ball, Yalen's exactly that. And I just think if we ever got like the Dark Matter Yalen, which obviously we didn't, the dude would have just been next level. 93. We're going to talk about Rudy Fernandez.
93.
6'10" wingspan, hot spots from everywhere. 53 favors.
I better see Jalen Green in 92 the same card.
Isn't as good as he once was. He's just not right. The diamond was just different. But this Rudy Fernandez is still very solid.
He's so good.
Of Rudy Fernandez, just specifically at the point guard position. But I want to encourage you guys to think about Rudy Fernandez maybe at the shooting guard position, right? At the 2, he has a 97 3-1, 98 driving dunk, insanely good everything.
He's better than Vince Carter.
On very quick. Pro 2 size of escape, Pro 3 movement back. Like Rudy Fernandez is still very solid. Again, similar to Chris Middleton, I don't necessarily love his player model in game, but I'm still a big fan of
93 is low.
Rudy Fernandez can do. Not nearly as good as the Diamond Rudy Fernandez.
No, Diamond was God.
But still more than playable. This one might be a surprising one to you guys, but Galaxy Open Cade Cunningham does indeed make the list here at number 92.
I love Cade, but you're gassing
it.
it.
Is these hot spots, right? No
I love
Cade.
Cade.
Or left hash, but he comes with base 72 badges. Like he's missing steady shooter and D plus. Yes, he has gold showtime. You'd like to see that on Hall of Fame. Maybe some other badges. Stat wise, only an 80 driving dunk. He's not nearly perfect, and I don't want you to think that, but he still has base 98 on very quick. Shape super stop.
I mean, he's good. He is good though.
When it comes down to those categories, Cade's gonna do a lot for you. I'm a big fan of what the
Galaxy. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. He is good.
Galaxy Open in the game? No, we will get to that. 91. Talk about a guy that came out in a set, and the reason why he is where he is because he came out in the set he did. If he came out in a better set, I think more people would have noticed what OG. Obviously, in the season rewind set, won't get as much hype.
I think he's fine.
Spots from everywhere, 53 Hall of Famers, 9 on gold. I get it. His release isn't great, but look at the stats: 96 3 ball, 95 driving dunk, 93 speed ball,
over Isaac,
98 lateral quickness.
He's not better than Opal
Isaac.
Isaac.
The only downfall is that his release is really slow. Okay, jump shot 76 is a slow release. I'm not gonna sit here and gas it any other way.
It's nice in Killian Hayes though.
You guys can say that quick dribble style, Pro 2 size escape, Pro 3 movement back again.
He's not better than
slow release, but other than that, the dude can do it all on the court. At number 90, right? We're gonna talk about DeAndre.
I like Aiden. I like Aiden.
For his value, when he was on triple threat boards, was absolutely immaculate. 7 feet 1, 7.
He was in a locker code as well.
50 Hall of Famers, 1 on gold. I just felt like this card never got the recognition he deserved.
He's good.
Maybe it's just because he was released on July 8th, which is obviously late in the game. But for a budget center, this dude was fantastic. He could shoot the ball.
He wasn't budget until the locker code though. That's why no one talks about
him. The hype he should have. Jump shot 111 on very quick is fine. Shift dribble stop, Pro 2 size escape, Pro 2 tween, as was the Pro 3 movement back. DeAndre Ayton's fine. He's more than fine. This dude was very solid for his specific time and value. At number 89, moving right ahead of 90, we are going to talk about Jeremy Grant. Think of OG and Anobi, but just a little bit better, a tiny bit better, a smidge better than OG.
He is better than OG.
Hot spots forever. 50 Hall of Famers, 21 on gold. They give you basically identical things, right? They're just going to give you identical things.
He's like worse Michael Porter Jr. though.
Just because of his release. His release, his jump shot 62 is one I'm not a massive fan of. But
I love it.
I love it. OG's release, quick dribble style, Pro 2 size escape, Pro 3 movement back. If
I'm fine with this.
With Michael Porter Jr. I mean, people would hype him up more. I mean, if you compare him to Michael Porter Jr. in specific, let's do that for a second. Jeremy Grant's better than this MPJ card, and it's not particularly close. You guys might disagree, but trust when I say MPJ didn't make the list because Jeremy Grant is just a little
MPJ is just better than Jeremy Grant.
Ben Simmons, a card who we're going to talk about for a while, comes in at number 88. You guys can flame me in the comments because
he's learning. He's learning. I've been hyping this guy up since the very start. This is the day he got updated, and they gave him the Curry slide, the release on very quick. I have been this guy's #1 hype man. Ty is finally starting to learn.
Longest time, I said that this Ben Simmons card was not good.
He's so good.
I held to it. I said no hotspots.
He's so good.
If you need a pink diamond that can make plays, he's elite.
He's so good.
You have to kind of run your offense through him if you are on current gen. But the dude's fantastic.
And next gen, I told you though.
85 3 ball. If you give him
I told you.
Give him Dan Sony that's mid-90s, you should be able to agree.
I told you. You're learning, Ty. You're learning the ways of tactically downgrading. You are learning the ways of the tactical downgrade. That's all I'm going to say.
Shots with his release, you apply some badges. The dude stat-wise is just absolutely fantastic. I didn't hype this card up initially, but now looking back at it, this card is just incredible. He is just absolutely fantastic, and he's even better on next gen. So I want to apologize to DBG and everybody else that I did not hype Ben Simmons.
Learning the ways of the tactical downgrade.
Fantastic. One step better Ben Simmons, we are going to talk about the Galaxy Open with Dino Raj. It's kind of sad that we never got a really good Dino card.
Yeah, I'm fine with him just now.
49 Hall of Famers, 15 on gold. It just leaves a little bit to be desired in the defensive area, right? If you give him the Grinch, okay, that's obviously going to help him, but he still leaves a little bit to be desired. That's just the best way I can phrase it. If you give him a 96 speed, obviously the defensive Grinch helps a little bit. Player model is fantastic, but it just leaves a little bit to be desired. If we would have seen a better Dino Raja card, I would have been higher.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Because he's one of the only players with jump shot 4 that I absolutely am a fan of, and it really comes down to the upper, which is just fantastic. Shift dribble stop, Pro 2 size escape, Pro 2 tween, as was that Pro 3 movement.
He's about right there.
Dino really never found his groove in this game. The Dentist Man coming in at 86 is Terry Dishinger, 6'7", 7'3" wingspan.
RJ Barrett 85.
40 LFA matches 12 on gold. The fact that Terry Dishinger is down here at number 86 just shows how good this list is, because this is a card that can play for anybody still today at the shooting guard position, and you can compete with Terry Dishinger. You absolutely can. If he's your shooting guard, you're fine.
He doesn't get great defense, great defensive animations.
I like Terry Dishinger. He was my shooting guard on my
I didn't like him, I love him on current, don't like him on next.
He's just not that next level good. Basically, a Terry Dishinger.
Yeah, lefty Terry Dishinger.
They're basically the same cards. I just like RJ just that little bit more, and I don't really know what it is. Maybe it's a few extra favors. Terry has a longer wingspan, longer player, but I don't know what it is. RJ Barrett, Terry Dishinger.
It's preference. One's left hand, one's right hand. The same card.
Coming in one step higher is the invincible Manu Ginobili. Now, for his value, Manu Ginobili is an incredible player.
I'll give you that. I like that.
For his value,
I like Manu.
Incredible, especially if you like players with the Dante X and base 6'6", 6'9" wingspan, hotspots from everywhere. Has a ton of badges. Obviously, an invincible card, no steady. You are on next gen and give him Hall of Fame blinders. You're looking at an incredibly.
He feels the exact same as the Opal on next gen, though.
On next gen more than current. And so as a Pro 3 movement back to Pro.
Feels the exact same.
Manu Ginobili's absolutely fine. If he's your favorite card in the game, I'm fine with that, to be completely honest with you guys.
I agree.
This one's going to come as a surprise to a lot of people probably, but coming in for me, actually, it's not even this Grant Hill. Coming in for me at number 83, we're talking about the invincible Grant Hill. 6'8", 6'11", wingspan, not spots for
That's fine.
5 on gold. Now, the reason this Grant Hill is right here, because I actually like Grant Hill more at point guard than shooting guard. And the reason for that is I like running my offense through Grant Hill if I have him on the court. Shooting guard is just as weird because he has jump shot 1 on very quick, which is not a great release. So you kind of have to run your offense through Grant Hill. And with this Grant Hill, it's hard to do so at that shooting guard position. But the card defensively, offensively is still absolutely fantastic. One step at a Grant Hill is the invincible Jimmy Butler card. I've seen a lot of people running Jimmy Butler, and that's fine. For
I think Terry's better.
To run. Again, just compare him to the likes of a Terry Dishinger. Compare him to the likes
I think Terry's
of a guy
better.
like RJ Barrett. Yes, the jump shot's a little bit different. I actually prefer Terry and RJ's jump shot to Jimmy Butler.
I'd have Jimmy.
I can't say much bad about
small
Jimmy
wingspan as well.
Player he is. And that's how a lot of these players are. If they're invincible cards, I'm not going to spend that long talking about them because they are just all absolutely fantastic. Next guy I'm going to talk about, whether we talk about this Larry Bird, they're the same card.
They're the same card.
I didn't include the two separate cards because they are literally the exact same card. But we'll just talk about the invincible Larry Bird. 6'9", 7 wingspan, hot spots from everywhere, coming in at number 81. The dude's fantastic. They really come down to Larry Bird. I think for me is better on current gen than next gen. I do like his base. Very quick. It's kind of a different.
But the point guard Larry's better on next gen. This Larry's better on current gen.
Larry Bird's fine. Objectively, he's fine. He never really had his time like he did last year with the pink diamond, but the dude is just objectively fine. So cracking the top 80 is Josh Smith, shooting guard, small 40 or 6'9", 7 wingspan, hot spots from everywhere. 6'4" Hall of Famers, 5 on
I like that. I love Josh Smith.
I'm not gonna go through them stat wise because they're basically go cards. Defensively has every badge in the game. The big thing is Josh Smith's upper is weird. I don't know what they did to upper 82, but it's like they just the ball is so far in front of their body.
I like it though. I like weirdo. I like some weird uppers though.
Base, very quick timing.
I like some weird uppers.
Escape, which hurts him a little bit. But at the shooting guard position, I think Josh Smith can more than hold it down for you. Now coming in at number 79 and number 78. We're going to talk about our Magic Johnsons. Now, you really could add more Magic Johnsons than I am, right? You could add the Team USA here. You could talk about the Enshrine because they're basically all the same.
They're all the same.
In my list specifically, we're just going to talk about the GOAT Giannis and the Invincible Giannis. Those are the only two that made my list at number 78, 79. I think they are a little bit better than the rest. There's really no flaw.
I think they're all the exact same.
When you look at Magic Johnson up and down, there's no flaw with the card outside of this release. It's just the Magic Johnson base on very quick.
It's horrendous.
It's just not the best release in the game. That's all there really is to it.
It's not the best, one of the worst.
Stage, you want your point guard to have a good.
It's a set shot.
You see a lot of duplicate type of cards that that I add more than one of, but Magic Johnson
literally a set shot.
And GOAT card at number 79 and 78 in the middle. Okay, we're gonna talk about Cedric Maxwell. Okay, coming in here at number 77. Cedric's the card who you could have as a top 50 card of the game, and if you do,
so, way too low. Way too low for Cedric. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm not gonna disagree with you. Okay,
way too low.
Me, personally, I'm at 77. And more than anything, it's just because I've not used the card that much. And if you look up and down the card,
base 3 Chicken Man.
There's no flaws with the card. Again, it's all basically preference at this stage of my list.
Ty, like you have him at 75, and I cooked you with him. Not a competent player. I came back to current gen after not picking it up for like 3 months, and I cooked you with Cedric Maxwell. I cooked you with Cedric Maxwell. Me. How do you have him at 75? You got cooked by him, and not against in a comp game, not against an unlimited sweat. You got cooked by him, by me, and you have him at 75. By me. Come on, he's so low. He's way too low. He has to at least be top 50. He is way too low. That's disrespectful to Cedric Maxwell.
And for me, Cedric just doesn't kind of do as much as some of these other guys. And maybe I'm biased, right? If I put Michael Jordan over a guy like
Jordan's so much better than Jordan.
A bunch of MJs in here, okay? Let's talk about the Invincible MJ, the GOAT MJ, and the Team USA MJ, all coming in here basically at the same thing. You're not going to notice a difference between the Team USA MJ and the Invincible MJ, and then obviously the GOAT MJ is going to be better.
Yeah, I'm fine with that placement of MJ.
Is Michael Jordan better than Cedric Maxwell? And it's just really a debate. I think Cedric Maxwell is probably better, so maybe Cedric Maxwell should have been a little bit higher on my list. It's just tough. I wanted to put all the MJs together because I really didn't think there's that much of a difference. So coming in from number 76 through number 74, we got Michael Jordan, probably the Team USA first, then the Invincible, and then the GOAT. And coming in at number 73 through 71, we're going to talk about Kobe Bryant, right?
I'm fine with that. Jordan and Kobe.
Number 73 with the Team USA Kobe.
I prefer Kobe to Jordan as well.
Kobe, and then 71 with the GOAT Kobe. There's not really that much.
Invincible Kobe over GOAT Kobe if you're on current.
Probably the best of the best because of how he is on next gen, but it's really preference. I mean, whether you think Cedric Maxwell is
Kobe's so good on next gen though.
Whether you think MJ and Kobe are better than Cedric Maxwell, I don't have the right answer for you guys. It really comes down to preference. But for me, they're all in that same realm. And rounding out the top 7, we're gonna plug in another shooting guard in John Havlicek. Now here's the problem. A month ago, Hondo would have been a top card in the game. But Hondo isn't even as good as Andre Kirilenko, Hidu, Turkoglu, Cade Cunningham. The list goes on and on. Objectively, Hondo is good. 6'5".
Hondo's so good.
6'5".
Hondo's so good, lads.
There's no flaws in the card.
He's like budget Cade.
Compare him to some of those other guys who just are a little bit taller. For me,
he's like budget Cade.
Objectively, if he's your shooting guard, point guard, you're fine. If you're a cheese ball and like to cheese around screens, you're gonna have success with him.
He's better than Wade. It's invincible, by the way. He's better than Wade.
Top 70 at number 69. We are gonna talk about Jonathan Kuminga here. Now, I think this dude was one of the biggest letdowns of the year as far as cards that I was excited to get. that I wasn't really a massive fan of. 6'8", 7'3", wingspan, hot spots from every 6'4" favors, 6 on goal. I mean, the card should be better than he is objectively. Like, this card has every Hall of Fame defensive badge in the game, perfect offensively. John Wall based on very quick. I just don't know what it is. Maybe it's his release. Maybe it's just his player build.
Kevin Durant upper with any release on Kevin Durant is awful.
Jonathan Kuminga is just mid, and that's just the way it is. Now, this is going to be coming as a surprise to a lot of you guys. Coming in at number 68, point guard Grant Hill. 6'8", 6'11", wingspan, hot spots from everywhere. 40.
You put point guard Grant Hill over point guard Jordan? I mean, I like that Grant Hill. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I like that Grant Hill. But really?
My favorite 23 on goal. Now, hear me out. If you're going to ask me today,
he's as good as, like, Darius Miles is as good as this Grant Hill.
To go in a competitive game. If I get the choice of Grant Hill or the Invincible or GOAT Magic Johnson, I'm choosing Grant Hill. I am. I mean, the card's basically Invincible.
Jordan,
yes,
though.
Obviously, he doesn't have all the Hall of Fame badges that Magic has, but animation-wise, the dude is fantastic. You cannot sit here and tell me that this Grant Hill is not better than Magic Johnson. You just can't.
He's better than Magic, not Jordan.
But on Grant, then you cannot even make that argument. The dude is absolutely fantastic. I prefer the point guard Grant Hill over the shooting guard Grant Hill, and that's why he is ahead of him. Now, coming in one step higher at number 67, another point guard. This one's LaMelo Ball, 6'8", 6'10", wingspan. And obviously, we're talking about the Invincible LaMelo Ball here, not the glitch LaMelo. Now, is there a big difference?
They're the same card.
LaMelo Ball had made the list. Maybe. Right?
They're the same card.
There's not much of a difference between the cards. So wherever you put the Invincible LaMelo, you might as well plug the other LaMelo. So, I mean, just plug them in both here at 67. 6'8", 6'10", wingspan. Again, everything's perfect for LaMelo. It's just that for LaMelo, guys, honestly, I think it's in general, base 38, jump shot 38 is not what it was last year. That's just what I've came to the conclusion of. Eddie Curry's release is fine. But in my opinion, base 38, jump shot 38 is not nearly as overpowered as it was last year. And stick with the base 38, Eddie Curry. The reason he's so high is just because he's a center that can compete. You give Eddie Curry everything he deserves. He's a center that can compete at every level. He is. Ever since the Diamond Eddie Curry came out, this card was fantastic for his time.
I love Eddie Curry. I think he's too high.
Is he a top 50 card in the game? I don't think so.
I think Sabonis is better.
Than, 66, 65, I think would just be disrespectful to the card. He has a good release for a center. Jump shot 38 is not the best release, but for a center, it's fine.
It's unbelievable release.
In the next gen, I'll be the first to say that.
Sabonis is better.
It's sad. It's honestly sad that I have the collector level Jason Tatum.
About right.
65. 6'8", 6'11", wingspan, hot spots from her. 6'1" Hall of Famers, 11 on gold. I love Jason Tatum's release. It's just his player build. It's just his player build, his player model that I can't get behind. And it's sad because if Jason Tatum, I mean, if you spend all the time, effort collecting Jason Tatum and he's not even a top 60 card.
About right.
That's actually very, very sad. This one is one that splits the opinion. Klay Thompson. Now, I only put one Klay on the list as well. And this is going to be one that really splits the opinion.
How is he better than Kobe Bryant, Cedric Maxwell, Michael Jordan? Jonathan, how is he on the top 100? Don't get me wrong. I hate Klay more than most people do. But how is he in the top 100? How is he better than Josh Smith? The Klay release is fine. It's not as good as Jordan's jumper. It's not as good as base 3. And it's not even the same stratosphere as Kobe. He gets similar defensive animations to Kobe. He doesn't get the dunk animations of either of them. This might be the craziest spot I've seen on this list. How the hell is Klay Thompson in the 60s? He's Terry Dishkin is better than Klay. RJ Barrett's better than Klay. Klay is not a top 100 card. Cliff, there's not even a debate that Cliff Robinson is better than Klay. He's better than Klay.
Of the community here at 64. 6'6", 6'9", wingspan, hot spots forever, 6'1", Hall of Famer, 6 on gold. I think Klay is perfect. I mean, I do. Objectively, I think he's fine, and I love the Klay Thompson release.
Can't shoot on next. He's awful on next gen.
One of the easier releases in the game to green, and so that's why I have Klay this high. A lot of people might disagree.
But Kobe's release is way better.
His player build, I like his player model. Yes, on offense, he's gonna stand there and catch and shoot.
There's a reason he's 8,000 MT. There's a reason he's 8,000 MT.
Well, defensively, he's gonna hold it down.
Or it was anyway.
63. We're going to talk about one of our Anthony Davises here. The fan favorite AD just missed the list. We're going to talk about the Space Jam Anthony Davis here at number 63. 55 Hall of Famers, 13 on gold. The dude's fantastic. I mean, are you going to notice the difference between this Anthony Davis and the Invincible? Maybe not, but I have the Invincible a little bit higher. This AD, just leave it.
I'd have them neck and neck to the same card.
Maybe the flexible Deadeye is what does it for me. But if you're looking for a power forward center like Anthony Davis, the Space Jam AD is the one to look at. This dude is fantastic. I don't know if he's still that much cheaper than the Invincible since the new Invincible packs, but I'm a big supporter of every Anthony Davis.
Yeah, I reckon he is because nobody pulled anyone other than guards in Invincible packs.
You guys might absolutely hate me for this. Coming in number 62, last season 9's level 40 reward.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
70 Hall of Famers, 1 on gold.
He's way better than Klay.
How much better is he than Terry Dishinger than RJ Barrett? I don't know if he's better at all. The dude's basically the same card. I put him a little bit higher just so people wouldn't get mad at me, but I'm sorry if you wasted your time grinding for this card.
Yeah, he's literally just. I didn't grind for him because he's just Terry Dishinger.
Jason Tatum disappointment. Dr. J is right up there with him. 61. Penny Hardaway. 6'7".
I thought he'd be higher. I like Penny.
6 Hall of Famers, 5 on gold. If you know how to dribble, you're gonna love Penny Hardaway. It's that simple. If you know how to dribble the basketball, you are gonna love Penny Hardaway. Maybe Penny Hardaway, looking at my list, is a card I should have even had higher. But for me, he's just not a card I'd ever even think about using. So that's the tough part for me. He's very solid though. Very, very solid, especially offensively. Defensively, he's just gonna hold it down. And talk about it, just very mid and average card in the game. Chris Webber, 6'9", 7'3" wingspan. He's just mid. You're not gonna notice it be a liability, and he's just gonna stand there. And
he's quality.
Similar to Klay Thompson, he's just gonna stand there.
He's so. Don't compare Chris Webber to Klay Thompson. Do not make that comparison. Chris Webber is unbelievable.
That's what Chris Webber's there to do. I'm a fan of what Chris Webber does just because he's not going to be a liability at the small forward position, but he's just going to stand there and shoot the basketball. That's all there is to it. Now, this guy is next-gen bias specifically, okay? 59 is Pokachevsky. If we're talking about next-gen point guards, I'm still a massive fan of Pokachevsky. I know DBG might not like him as much as I do, but here's my thing. I'm a massive fan of it because I like his release. And the reason I say I like it is because it's an easy release to time. It's not the quickest release, but it's
not on next gen.
Play him at point guard, 7 feet tall, 7'3" wingspan. Yes,
I think the
he's
two
struggle defensively, but I'll give up 50 if as long as I can score 60. So that's why Pokachevsky.
Maybe the first player on this list I'm like Clay might be better than.
He does crack the top 60 here at number 59. This guy I had no idea where to rank. 58. We're gonna talk about we're gonna
58?
talk about
Okay, that's fair.
7'6" wingspan, and we're gonna talk about. I'm just gonna talk about these guys together. At number 58 and 57, we got Mutombo and then Porzingis glitch card. These two were my centers for the longest time. 7'2", 7'6" wingspan. You can see he came out on May 24th, and on May 21st we got Kristaps. So they were my centers for probably a month.
KP's better.
Really, this card should have been better than he is. It really just came down to his release, which jump shot for his time wasn't bad, but now it's just not really one of the top.
KP's better.
Talk about defensive bigs. Dikembe Mutombo is up there for being one of the best in all of 2K. Then we also got the Kristaps. Porzingis was a little more offensive minded than Dikembe. If you look at their stats, you're gonna like Dikembe more. Obviously, release wise, give me Porzingis over Dikembe. So both these cards were absolutely fantastic. It's a shame that you can't really. I mean, you can still use them. They're just not top centers in the game anymore. And you guys might disagree with me, but I don't think this Invincible Anthony Davis card was as advertised. 6'10", 7'5" wingspan. I get it. He's got CC Hall of Famers. But is there that much of a difference between this card and the fan favorites AD? I don't think there's that much of a difference. Obviously, badge-wise, yes, stat-wise, a little bit.
Fan favorites a bit, not between Space Jam.
Team USA to the Space Jam. They're all going to basically do the same thing for you. Yes, the Invincible Anthony Davis is the best. That's why he's in here at number 56, but I'm just not the biggest fan of him. I don't think
honestly, the Opal is the same as most of them.
That's why I do have him at 56 right here.
Pink Diamond is the same as most of them, honestly.
Number 55 is the Dark Matter Sean Elliott. I'm a big fan of this card, and it really comes down to next gen.
Okay.
Jump shot 29. I think that's a fantastic release.
Okay.
You can find that Shift Superstar Pro 2 Size Escape Pro 3 move on the back. He can do it all. Obviously, if his name wasn't
Cedric's better than him, but he's better than Clay, so I'm fine with that.
Sean Elliott, people would hype him up more, and obviously only a badge count of 60 in today's game might not seem like the most, but fully badge up Sean Elliott and just
he's really good.
I'm telling you guys, one of the most slept on.
I think Terry's better as well.
Overlooked cards in all of 2K. Coming in at number 54. The Galaxy Open Kevin Durant. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to rank the Dark Matter Kevin Durant higher in my list, and I'll talk about it why. First of all, he's better on next gen. The second off, just because he does everything outside of shooting the ball better as well. But as far as current gen specific, I'd rather run this Kevin Durant than another Kevin Durant. 6'10", 7'4" wingspan, hot spots forever. 30 favorites.
He's going to put Kawhi Leonard over Cedric Maxwell, isn't he? He's going to put Opal Kawhi Leonard. Dark Matter Kawhi Leonard is better than Cedric Maxwell. Do not get me wrong. How is he better than Cedric Maxwell?
39 on Golden.
How is he better than Cedric?
Kawhi Leonard off my list. He would have definitely been on this list somewhere as well. Probably not as high as KD. 97 3 ball, 95 driving, 92 ball, 84 ball, or 86 ball handle. Defensively, gonna maybe leave a little bit to be desired, but a 6'10" frame as well as a good wingspan is gonna be just fine. KD base on quick is better on current gen than it is on very quick. This guy did not really know where to rank either, but coming in at number 53, Nikola Jokic. 7 foot tall.
40 spots lower.
I mean, some people probably still think he's the best point guard in the
Put him
league,
40 spots lower.
He's fine. Jokic is fine. He's not necessarily the best player.
He's worse than Poku. Put him 40 spots lower.
Next gen, he does that slasher dribble style. But the dude's fine. I can't
awful on next gen.
him up higher than 53 because he's just objectively fine. If base 38 was as good as it was last year, he would be a top card in the game. I'm not a fan of Anton Jameson. I'll be the first to say I'm not a fan of this card, but he can catch and shoot the ball. On next gen specifically is why he's decided for talking current gen, he'd be way lower.
So good.
But this card's fine. If you're on next gen, need a small forward, need a 3-and-D type player, you can plug in Anton Jameson, green consistent with him, and he's gonna play a little bit of defense. I didn't respect him for the longest time. Look, Anton, here's your flowers, here's your respect.
Chicken man.
Back the top 50. Coming in number 51. Big Shaquille O'Neal invincible card. He's down maybe a little lower than a lot of you guys maybe.
Okay, that's interesting. I thought he would have been higher.
I think he should be, but for me personally, I'm just
Pink Diamond Bulls got him still be up, coming up now.
For big guys, it just doesn't do it for me. But still,
you forgot him in your best Pink Diamond team yesterday. You can't forget him again.
Maybe he should be in the top 40. You could definitely make that debate. But for me, I'm uncomfortable when Shaq's on the court, and that's not what I want to do. That's not what I want my big guy to do for me. I want to be comfortable with every player.
I love Gallo Shaq.
Shaq's on the court for me. I'm just really not comfortable.
I love Gallo Shaq.
That's why he doesn't come any higher. Number 50, top 50 time here. Corey Kispert 6'7", 6'8". Wingspan hot spots.
Corey Kispert's a bit low.
He's on this list for one reason only. The Ray Allen base, Clay's upper on very quick. That's why he's on the list. I mean, I could sit here and talk about the card all day about how he's holding down on defense, which he can about. He's a two-way player, which he is, but he's one of the best shooting guards in the game. That's just the way it is. He's going to do one thing for you at an extremely high level.
Good,
the rest,
man.
he's just going to be fine. That's Corey Kispert for you. But as far as 3-and-D cards, he's going to be able to shoot the crap out of
God.
basketball. Coming in at number 49 here, we're going to talk about Mo Bamba. Card I'm not using a lot of. I'm going to be straight up front and say that. But if you're looking for a next-gen card,
I agree. He's God on next-gen. I agree.
Like 221 pounds, skinny player build. I mean, next-gen wise, the dude's fantastic. Current gen, he's still going to be solid. Hall of Fame Showtime.
Really good on current gen.
He came out as the same day as what? I mean, I can click on this and see we came out the same day.
Spotlight Sims.
He's not hyped up, right? He came out the same day as the Spotlight.
Yeah, no one ever used this card, but he's so good.
Mo Bamba is a more than serviceable card. If you're a big Texas Longhorn fan, if you like the Orlando Magic, whoever else, Mo Bamba can get the job done for you at a very high level. One step ahead of Mo Bamba, we're going to talk about a card who I think again is kind of slept on in the community at number 47. Juwan Howard, 6.
I like Juwan Howard. Corey Kispert's better.
9'7" wingspan, hot spots from everywhere. 63 LFA badges, 10 on gold. 89 3 ball, 95 driving, 93 speed ball, 89 ball, 90 94 speed acceleration, 95 lateral quickness. Again, nothing really that stands out there, but then you look at it, the Ray Allen base on very quick. That's why I'm high on some of these cards. It comes down to the release, the animations. Juwan Howard doesn't do anything outside of the Ray Allen base extremely well, but he's at the small forward position.
Kispert's better. Kispert's definitely better.
A lot of shots. A card that I think is massively slept on in this community is the Dark Matter Boris Diaw card. I almost called him
my GOAT, my favorite. Obviously, I do not believe he's the best player to ever play the game of basketball, but I mean, he is my favorite player to ever play the game of basketball. So, yeah, my GOAT's in there. He deserves that spot.
The Amethyst Boris Diaw, because that's what I've been using a lot of lately. But here's the thing. Look at this Amethyst Boris Diaw for me. Okay? Just look at it. Has a Gallo base on very quick. That's a card I've been using a lot in kind of these restricted tournaments that I've been playing in. You look at this better Boris Diaw, Gallo base on very quick. I would say I like that release a lot more on guards than big guys. I think it's easier to green, maybe off the dribble. But I'm a fan of this card. Defensively more than anything, I think, with this player.
So good on both gens.
Boris Diaw does it for me. Maybe it's just budget.
He's so good.
But give me Boris Diaw over a lot of cards in the game every day of the week. Paul George. Let's throw it way back with the Flash 9 Paul George here at number 45, 6'9", 6'11" wingspan. This card I wasn't high on when he initially came out. Hotspots forever, 40 out of 16 on gold. But then you look up and down this card and you're like, wow, this card could do it all. There's really no downfalls in this
He's
card.
perfect.
Obviously, still does have the Paul George base on very quick. Pro 2 size escape, Pro 3 movement back. Again, I didn't hype this card up initially when he came out, but this Paul George is absolutely elite. Coming in here at number 45. 44, Invincible Moses Malone. The fact that he's at 44 is just insane considering how this
I'm good with that.
This card can hold it down in any type of a setting. The dude's fantastic. Moses Malone is very solid. I always have a special place in my heart for the Galaxy Opal Moses. The Invincible Moses was still solid. I don't regret getting him, but he just isn't as good as Bill Russell. He's just a very off-brand version of Bill Russell, and that's why he is there at 44. 43. This, I mean, maybe I rank Brandon Ingram a little too high. You can maybe say that. But think about
why? He's good. I'm about to say, I'm like, why? Like, how is he better than Paul George? How is he better than Paul George? Also, how is Cam Reddish better than Paul George? I wonder how high he's going to gas Cam Reddish. Although I can't say much because, in fairness, he probably could score 100 points in a game against me with Brandon Ingram.
I like this. A better version of a guy like Penny Hardaway, right? 6'9", 7'3" wingspan, hotspots from everywhere, 53 out of 10 on gold.
I don't disagree.
Like the same release, and the dude's absolutely fantastic considering he's 6'9". Shape dribble style, Pro 2 size escape, Pro 3 movement back. I just think for Brandon Ingram, when I first used this card, I was so stunned with how good he was that I can't put him any lower. 43, I think, is a good spot for BI. 42, Dirk Nowitzki, Invincible card. A lot of people do not like this card, and I don't see why.
Shaq's better than him. Shaq is better than Dirk. Both of them have weird uppers. Shaq has a better base, and Shaq is wider.
I do not see why people do not like
Shaq's better.
It just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't sit right with me. Jump shot 94 on very quick to release. I don't mind, especially for a big guy. I'd rather have this than the Gallo base on a big guy. Shift dribble style, Pro 2 size escape, Pro 3 movement back. I get it, guys. I understand that Dirk on next gen might not be as good, but on current gen specifically, this dude's fantastic. If you're a big Dirk fan, you should be happy because we finally got a Dirk that is way, way, way more than usable. 41. We're gonna talk about this guy right here, Danny Ferry Gallo.
He's a bit low, but I don't hate it. I think he's a little bit low. I do not hate him at 41.
6'10", 7'5" wingspan, hotspots from everywhere, 33 out of famous, 34 on gold. Now I get it. You guys might think this is too high. 41 for Danny Ferry.
Too low? I think it's too low. I would have the two fairies one after the other, probably somewhere along like. Actually, no. I probably would have this fairy like 20, like somewhere between 20 and 30, and then having the other fairy somewhere between 10 and 20.
But here's my thing. He's a complete card. Yes, he has more gold badges than I might like, but still, look at his stats. He's absolutely fine. Tendency-wise, fine. Sig-wise, jump shot 98 on very quick. Quick dribble style, Pro 2 size escape, Pro 2 tween. This was a Pro 3 movement back. He came out on April 7th. Think about it like this. He's basically a top 40 card. Came out at 41. And that April, May, June, July, August. That was 4 months ago. So 4 months ago, if you got Danny Ferry, you're still looking at a top 41 card in the game, which is just absolutely wild. Cracking the top 40.
The other Ferry,
40. We are going to talk about the Invincible.
He's really good. He's really good.
Who offensively, speaking just offensively, is one of the top bigs in the game. 6'11", 7'3".
Really good defensively as well.
35 pounds. So on next gen, you all already know what Chris Bosh gets into. Jump shot 29 again. It's just all preference with these Invincible cards. I just prefer some guys over Chris Bosh, but if you think he's a top 30 card in the game, I don't blame you. I put some respect on his name. He's top 40 for me. A card I really had no idea where to rank is the Invincible Blake Griffin card. A card who can play point guard. Initially, I thought he was going to be one of the best point guards in the game, but slowly and steadily, he's just kind of declined for me. 6'10", 6'11", wingspan, hotspots from everywhere. The big thing for Blake.
Unpopular opinion. I know he's a point guard, but a lot of the guys higher me point guards. Cedric is higher than him, and so is maybe Dr. J or Terry Dishinger. But Cedric definitely should be higher than Blake.
a lot better on current gen than next gen. That's the big thing for Blake Griffin. If you're on current gen and want to argue he's a top 20 player in the game, I get it. But if you're on next gen, you cannot even argue he's a top 20 player
awful.
in the game. That's just the way it is. So I have him here at number 39 just strictly because of how good he is on current gen specifically. Coming in at 38, a card I've never been a big fan of in David Robinson. 71751.
I like
get it on next gen, he's probably fantastic.
I like D-Rob.
Current gen wise,
I like D-Rob
I would
both
never
times.
use this card ever. I did a gameplay with him, and ever since then I've just never even touched David Robinson. I get it, next gen wise, you might want to use the card. He might be very solid, especially if you're looking for a power forward.
I love him on both gens.
There's just so many better alternatives. Just realized I forgot the Galaxy with James Wiseman on this list. He'd probably be somewhere below 50 on this list as well. Now we're going to talk about the Kevin Durant of the world. The first one here, the Team USA KD, 6'10", 7'4", wingspan, not spots from everywhere, 54 out of favors, 17 on goal.
That's a bit high.
Here, obviously, small forward, power forward because of the next gen. I think he's a lot better on next gen than current gen. Movement wise, he's fantastic on current gen. It's just hard to green with that.
I think KD's a little bit high.
If you do play in unlimited, you're still going to knock down a majority of the shots because obviously he's going to have the Hall of Fame flexible, stuff like that. So, I mean, this Team USA KD would be higher if he could play shooting guard. Because he can only play small forward, he's down here at number 36. 35.
Wait a second. 1 second.
Now, if you do play in unlimited, you're still going to knock down a majority of the shots because obviously he's going to have the Hall of Fame flexible, stuff like that.
What shoes are Nike selling for $300? That's like 80 over Yeezys. That's like resale price on a lot of stuff. That's like resale price on the LeBron South Beaches when they re-released. What the hell is that for $300? Swiftly moving on.
Yeah. So, I mean, this Team USA KD would be higher if he could play shooting guard. Because he can only play small forward, he's down here at number 36. 35, another guy had a tough time ranking, the invincible Luka Doncic. On next gen, you can argue he's a top 20 card in the game. Current gen, I definitely think
I'm fine with it.
6'7", 6'8", wingspan, hot spots from everywhere. 60 out of favors, 7 on goal. The dude's fine. Objectively, the dude is just
I'm fine with
He
it.
doesn't play for me anymore. Neither does Blake Griffin on my no-money spent. X and base, very quick. Pro 2 side escape, pro 1 movement in the back. Next gen, he's way better than current gen. That's just the truth behind Luka Doncic. 34 is a card I'm higher on than the majority of the community in Rudy Gay. 6'8", 7.
I don't hate it.
I think I'm higher on him just because of how he is at shooting guard. You can't tell me he's not better than Dr. J. You can't tell me he's not better than Terry. He's better than those guys, and because of that, I have him
so little.
More at the shooting guard than anything.
The problem is there's like no difference between them, and you've got him like 50 spots higher than Terry Dishinger. That's the difference. Is like they're basically the same card, and you have like 50 spots higher.
And I think this dude is absolutely fantastic. Now, kind of a similar guy to Rudy and what he gives you is Jalen Johnson. 6'9", 7'2".
I like him.
The difference is Jalen Johnson and Charlotte has the MJ release, while Rudy does have the Rudy base. I mean, it's just a little bit of a difference, but I'm a big fan of Jalen Johnson. And if I wasn't, the dude would not be in my top 35. Top 35 is the...
Guys like Elgin Baylor near the bottom of the list could have been shouts, actually. Thinking
elite of the elite, and Jalen Johnson is a part of it.
He's incredible.
Coming in at 32, we're going to talk about the idols and Embiid here. 7 feet tall, 7'5" wingspan, on spots from error. 56 out of favors, 12 on goal.
A bit high for me, but I don't hate it.
Right? I liked him over Bill Russell for a short period. Obviously not anymore. But this card was fine. He could hold it down. I liked him better at center than power forward. And obviously, he is way better on current gen than he is on next gen. But jump shot 37 on very quick. Shifter side pro 2 side escape pro 2 between, as well as that pro 3 ball movement on the back. There's nothing really wrong with Joel Embiid. Next, we're going to talk about Tracy McGrady. Now, here's the thing for T-Mac here. Trying to figure this out real quick. As I was going into my next player, I was confused. I only had one Tracy McGrady left on my list. That is because I forgot the invincible Tracy McGrady, who was at number 37. So right between David Robinson and Team USA KD is the invincible T-Mac. I forgot to talk about him just because I overlooked him, but he has steady shooter. So really the only difference between this T-Mac and the other T-Mac is that this one has steady shooter. This one's coming in at number 37. The other Tracy McGrady I had at 31. The out of position 4 obviously can play point guard as well. No steady shooter. I just think he's a little bit higher on my list. Obviously stat-wise, the invincible and this T-Mac are basically.
One's better current gen, one's better next gen. They're the same card.
Same sig, same release.
The same
really
card.
Not that much difference in the cards. For me, just give me a T-Mac that can play point guard without steady one step higher. Now we're going to talk about the Kevin Durant invincible card. Now here's the thing.
That's a bit high.
I'm not the biggest fan of Kevin Durant in this game.
T-Mac's better.
Either gen, I do think he can move and groove on current gen with the best of them, but it just comes down to I cannot green his release on.
It's a little bit high.
Shifter style pro 2 size escape pro 3 movement in the back. I mean, Kevin Durant's objectively incredible. Stat wise, badge wise, height wise, the dude's incredible. It just comes down to the fact that I'm terrible with the Kevin Durant release on very quick, and most people are as well. Most people do not green with it. Now this guy, it's just a mess where you rank Sean Bradley. I'm in here at number 29. On next gen, the dude's probably a top 10 card still in the game. He just is. Obviously, you give him D'Antoni.
I'm so 50 with him on next gen though.
That's when we're talking about Sean Bradley. 99 3 ball, 94 driving dunk, has good enough speed, ball handle, 94 speed, 90 lateral quickness, Hall of Fame showtime. Shooting wise, fine. You apply the right back.
He's my
gonna be fantastic.
least favorite of Giants.
Current gen, he's still fine. He's still gonna be objectively fine, just not to that incredible level. Now 28, Thon Maker, a card I'm a massive fan of. This card is not far off being on the best squad in the game for me. But here's the thing: there are two gens, and Thon Maker's a lot worse than the guy you are going to see next on next gen. But the dude's fantastic, Thon Maker. You can't really do no wrong. The problem is he came out on May 7th. I mean, that's how many months? June, July, August. That's 3 months ago. For his time, was the best card in the game.
He's a beast on next gen.
The top cards in the game. It's just as time goes on, there's just better and better cards that override him. One of those cards that we're going to talk about today is the Invincible Giannis. I prefer Thon over Giannis on current gen, but when we're talking next gen,
Giannis is better.
Giannis is just immaculate. He is just immaculate. 6'11", 7'4" wingspan, hotspots from everywhere. 6'5" out favorite, 7 on gold. The dude can do no wrong. I mean, Giannis can do no wrong. I actually like this release on very quick on next gen. Current gen is nearly impossible to green with. Shifter Pro 2 Escape Pro.
Is he in like the 20s?
Next gen is specific. Giannis might be on the best squad in the game. 26 here. We're going to talk about a card that we had.
No, Giannis isn't top 25.
Invincible card. Hotspots from everywhere. 6'1" out favorites, 10 on gold.
Point guard Giannis has to
There's nothing wrong with the card. Has the Ray Allen base on very quick again. There's nothing wrong with Bill Russell. It's just for me at 6'10" on current gen specific. There's better cards in the game. Next gen, Bill Russell's even better than he is on current gen, and that's saying a lot because Bill can get the job done at an insanely high level. Next, we're going to talk about the Pink Diamond Bowl. This is insane to me.
Yeah.
A card that came out on
He
April
belongs.
23rd.
He belongs
This is
there.
still a top 25 card in the game.
He belongs there.
25 for me. It's just insane to me. The longevity of Bobo is just absolutely ridiculous.
I had a fairy somewhere around here, but he belongs there.
Playmaker, athleticism, whatever. Obviously, stat-wise doesn't tell the whole story. Like, if you know and use Bobo, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Stat-wise can never tell the whole
He's
story.
the best.
Danny Ferry,
He's the best.
He's going to have the same kind of badges, right? Danny Ferry 67 total, Bobo 63. So pretty similar to that, but Bobo just moves so differently. A card that the more I use, the more
I think Ferry's better than Kukoc.
It's coming in at number 24 here. 6'10", 7'2" wingspan. Hotspots.
I'm just saying, Ty, if you had have used this other Tony Kukoc more, and then not just made your opinion on him early, he'd be as good as this. Well, he would have been as good for his time as this Kukoc is now. This Kukoc for his time was God. He was insane.
6'5" all favorite, 6 on gold. Now I think the big thing is they've updated his player, but like I don't know that for a fact, but I almost guarantee they did because this Tony just looks better on the court than the last Tony. He has every badge you could want in the game. I know a lot of people don't like their upper.
He just moves a little better.
I'll be the first to say I don't mind his upper. I don't know what it is about it. I do not mind it. I like Ron Harper's upper too, so maybe it's just me, but I agree more consistent with Tony than about anybody in the game on current gen. Kucher's Pro 2 Escape Pro 2 Tweet as well as the Pro 3 move in the back. A card that's probably better on next gen than current gen as well. Just
yeah, he's God.
The other Giannis here, number 23, basically the same as the Invincible Giannis. 3 balls just a little bit lower, but the big thing, he can play the point guard.
Surprise, he's a 23.
I like this Giannis. Obviously, the release on very quick is nearly impossible to green with. Shifter Pro 2 Escape Pro 3 move in the back. Giannis is Giannis, man. The dude is absolutely fantastic.
Always
then
gonna
we're
be
gonna start
Giannis.
talking about some of our LeBron James here, starting with the Team USA. Bron can play shooting guard, 6'9", 7'4" wingspan, hotspots from everywhere. 54 famous, 15 on gold. He's just not quite to the next level.
I'm good with that.
To the Space Jam. There's just badge-wise some slight differences, right? When you're talking about some of the defensive badges he might not have in the moving trucker, in particular box trapper. But this card's
you're not gonna notice
the
a difference.
Is an absolute steal coming in here at number 22. 21, we're gonna talk about the Invincible Joel Embiid card that came out. I mean, you can make the case he's a top power forward in the game. You absolutely can. I think he's up there, 67 famous, 3 on gold, considering he's 21 on my list. The dude's fantastic.
I think he's the same as the other Embiid.
Similar to the other cards, jump shot 47 on very quick is a fantastic release. Shooter Pro 2 Escape Pro 2 Twin as well as the Pro 3 movement back. I just think Joel Embiid's a lot better on current gen than next gen, so that kind of plays in as a factor as well. Cracking the top 20 here, we're gonna talk about the out of position for Hedo Turkoglu. There we go. Here's the thing for Hedo Turkoglu for me. He doesn't necessarily fit my playstyle because I'm not an absolute cheese ball. But if there's
one word,
card,
6 letters,
gives me more trouble stopping than anybody else, it's probably this Hedo card. Tendency wise, obviously struggles a little.
He's insane on next gen.
Very quick. Shifter Pro 2 size escape Pro 2 Tween Pro 3 movement in the back. It just comes down to this. Current gen he can't curry, okay. Obviously for 300 it hurts a little bit, but trust me, this card is so tough to stop. Trust me when I tell you that. 19 Evan Mobley here, 7 feet 7'6" wingspan, hotspots from everywhere. 6'5".
He should not be 30 spots higher than Kristaps Porzingis Dark Matter. They are very, very similar level cards. But I don't hate it. I like Evan Mobley.
The power forward position is just so loaded. For me, I've never really found a spot for Evan Mobley, but he's just off that next level. Like, just off that next level. Trevor base on very quick. Quick to Pro 2 Escape Pro 3 movement. Like, the dude's fantastic. In my opinion, there's one guy like just a little bit more than him that we're going to get to at number 17, but Mobley is just absolutely fantastic. Number 18, Invincible Paul George. You guys might disagree and think that he should be higher than a guy.
You got Cam Reddish ahead of Invincible Paul George. Please. Oh my. And people think I'm bad with my Cliff Robinson love. Like, Cam Reddish is literally, like, Paul George is literally just Invincible Cam Reddish. With a better secondary position.
Guy we're going to see very soon on my list. But I don't see it. 6'9", 6'11" wingspan. The dude's fantastic. I'm not going to sit here and bash Paul George. But maybe it's just because I'm better with the other guy than Paul George. But
yes.
Paul George is still fantastic. One of my favorites.
That is it.
Pro 2 size escape, Pro 3 movement in the back, Pro 1 tween. The dude's fantastic. If he's your favorite shooting guard in the game, I can honestly say I don't even blame you. The guy that I was kind of comparing to Evan Mobley is James Wiseman. The cards are so similar. To me right now, I just prefer Wiseman.
Wiseman's better than Mobley.
Maybe it's just because I'm used to Wiseman compared to Mobley.
Wiseman's
both have incredible releases. Both have incredible player builds. Both are going to be great on defense. Really comes down to whose release you prefer. Right now, I prefer James Wiseman.
Wiseman's better.
He is
Steps better on a big one.
I guess than Evan Mobley coming in at number 17. At number 16, we are going to plug in, okay, not Composite here. We are going to plug in Cam Reddish. And this was what I was talking about when I said that I prefer somebody to Paul George. The guy I was referring to is Cam Reddish. If you guys haven't seen the DBG video, you guys can go watch Cam Reddish just absolutely drop DBG off 6'8",
I mean, you also would have scored 80 with Paul George. Like, that's not saying much beating me.
Wingspan. Hotspots for Barber, 51 famous 13.
Paul George is so much better than Cam.
You're going to get what you get. I mean,
sorry.
I mean, I like the profile boom in the back.
Sorry, he's not so much better. He is very slightly better, but objectively better.
I just like Cam Reddish more than...
He's literally Paul George He's an inch shorter Paul George with a tiny bit worse stats, worse badges, and a worse behind the back.
Paul George. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I just do. At number 15, the Dark Matter Danny Ferry. Talk about inconsistent. For me personally, is Danny Ferry. Hotspots from Area 60.
He's my
just
small
a little
forward.
bit of an upgrade over the Galaxy Opal badge wise. And
I'll probably have him top 10.
Still has a base 98, which is fantastic. Rudy's upper, Pro 2, sides of escape, Pro 3, movement in the back. Danny Ferry's fantastic. A lot of people argue he probably is a top 10 player in the game, but for me, he comes in here at number 15. At number 14, this is probably the surprise for you guys. I personally would take the Space Jam LeBron James over Danny Ferry, and I'm not the biggest fan of the XM base. 6'9", 7 foot wingspan, hotspots from everywhere, 6'5".
I'd have Space Jam LeBron over him probably.
An invincible card. I mean, if you look at up and down LeBron James, this dude is basically an invincible card.
I'd have Space Jam LeBron James above GOAT LeBron. But like I'm weird like that.
Hall of Fame Showtime, shooting wise incredible. He's missing one badge, deep hooks, I guess, steady as well. The dude's fantastic. XM base on very quick, Pro 2 size escape, Pro 2 tween, as well as the Pro 3 movement back. Coming in at number 12, we're gonna talk about the Invincible Bron. Okay, when you're comparing the cards,
Invincible Bron better than Space Jam.
And Invincible Brons, no, you can put one ahead of the other. For me, it's just the little things, right? Offensive rebound goes down a little bit when you compare the two cards. Block goes down a little bit. It's just a matter of preference between the two cards. I actually play Bron at small forward, so that's why I'm ranking the Invincible Bron.
Oh, that's fair enough.
Step ahead of the Space Jam Bron. And then last but not least, the LeBron we can't forget is the GOAT Bron. He comes in one step higher because I don't even play this card at point guard. He's actually my small forward on my best squad possible right now, coming in at number 12.
Really? Him over Invincible?
74 Hall of Famers. Every Hall of Famer.
That's a surprise for current gen.
Stat on 99 you could ask for. The dude's fantastic. There's no flaws in Bron outside of the fact that if you're on current gen, he does have the Hall of Fame steady Hall of Fame blindness. GOAT Bron is definitely a step above the rest, though. I do firmly believe that. Now, coming in at number 11, maybe a surprise for you guys is the Idols Kawhi. 6'7", 7'3" wingspan, hotspots from.
I don't disagree. I don't hate it.
There's not much difference between the Idols Kawhi and the Invincible Kawhi, and that's what you're seeing here with the Idols Kawhi still coming in at number 11. Ray Allen based on very quick. Kawhi's Kawhi. That's the best way to describe it.
I don't hate it.
Steady man himself, just smooth, steady. He's a smooth operator. Cracking the top 10 is the Invincible Kristaps Porzingis. Hotspots from everywhere. 6'6" Hall of Famers, 5 on board. What more is there to say, man? This dude is fantastic. Actually, he's one of my
like if he's 10, then the other Porzingis should easily be top 30, not number 50 something. He's not. I don't even think the other Porzingis made top 50. He definitely should be top 30.
Top 2 power forwards in the game. He runs my backup power forward on my best squad. Currently, the dude is fantastic. I don't have anything bad to say about the card. Only nothing but good things. Pro 2 size escape, Pro 3 movement in the back. Obviously, size of escape on current gen is not an issue. The dude's just fantastic. I love the Brook Lopez base with the Karl Malone upper. This one's a surprise for a lot of you guys, maybe too. Cracking the top 10 is the Warp Reality Ben Simmons. 6'10", 7 foot wingspan, hotspots from everywhere. 44 Hall of Famers, 17 on gold. Is there a big difference between the Invincible Ben and this Ben? There's a little bit of a difference. The difference comes with the fact that Ben doesn't have the Pro 3 movement in the back. This Ben doesn't.
Okay, I'm fine with it.
Difference as well. But I still prefer this Ben to about any other point guard in the game outside of this guy right here. I'll take the Dark Matter Cade Cunningham one step ahead of the bad or the worst version of the Dark Matter Ben Simmons card. 6'8", 7 foot wingspan here, coming in at number 8. Hotspots from everywhere. 6'5" Hall of Famer, 7 on gold.
He shouldn't be 12 spots ahead of Hito.
Fantastic. The most underrated part about Cade Cunningham is the defensive animations that he gets. He gets some of the most incredible defensive animations. I can't even describe it. The defensive animations he gets is just absolutely wild. Base 98 on very quick. The Ben upper is smooth as well.
He's chicken.
I'm a big supporter of Cade Cunningham. At number 7, the Invincible Kawhi Leonard. 6'7", 7'3" wingspan. Again, pretty similar to the Outer Squad. There's not that much of a difference. Just enough of a difference to. I mean,
we got Corey Kispert with defense. I'm cool with that.
A little bit. You like the other Kawhi, if you like any Kawhi, you're gonna like this Kawhi. Is the best way I can phrase it. At number 7 for me. Number 6, the other shooting guard that I run, Andre Kirilenko, 6'9", 7'4" wingspan. Hotspots from
yeah, I'm 6. That's fine.
On gold. The dude's fantastic. Talk about one of the best. I'm gonna say the best perimeter defender in NBA 2K21.
So what are the top 5 then? Simmons, Sim, Yao, Taco, Kareem.
My team is Andre Kirilenko. He is. He's the best perimeter defender we have seen. Obviously, Kawhi's up there too if we're talking about next gen, considering how well he can move his feet. But AK is just absolutely.
There's 2 Kareems.
As we crack the top 5, I just realized I forgot about somebody. So coming in between AK and the next guy here, we're gonna plug in Simbular. Okay, he's like at 5.5 since I did leave him off the list. I don't know how I leave these dudes off the list. This dude's incredible.
Fair.
The third best center in the game is the way I'm gonna phrase it. The first guy to play at that center position, I should say. The dude's fantastic. Has a Larry Bird base. Obviously, you're gonna want to give him a speed shoot. But once you do that, the dude's fantastic. The more I use Simbular, the more he grows on me too. The more I think he closes that gap between him and Taco and Yao. So coming in at my 5 position, the top 5 is Invincible Ben Simmons, 6'10", 7 foot wingspan, hotspots from everywhere.
He has 2 Kareems? He has 2 Kareems? Actually, wait, he's on current gen. Those Kareems are both even. Oh, yeah, sorry. 2 Kareems top. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I keep forgetting current gen is a thing as well. That's fine. I'm fine with that.
Animations, his defensive animations. He is my favorite point guard in NBA 2K21 my team, and it's by a decent margin. I like Ben Simmons quite a bit.
His top 4 players are all centers.
A guy that I think, again, another thing that I forgot to separate the Kareem. So the Invincible Kareem and the Go Kareem are going to share this number 4 spot because they're basically the same card. I wouldn't separate them. Anyways, Go Kareem's better on next gen. Obviously, the current Kareem, the Invincible Kareem's a lot better.
Wait, who have I forgot? Oh, Bobo.
Better on current gen. Here's the thing, I shouldn't say a lot better on current gen. This Go Kareem is massively better on next gen than the Invincible Kareem.
Yeah, it's not. There's no debate on next gen.
Hold the number 4 spot. Way better.
There's no debate on next gen.
Just because he can fit that void there with Yao and Taco, obviously the center position.
Bobo, Yao, Taco.
At my number 3, I think this might have been the same that it was last time unless all these cards weren't out yet. Bobo at number 3. Again, similar to the Pink Diamond Bobo, but better stat wise.
I'd have
Just think about that pink diamond Bobo, how he moved. The invincible Bobo is just...
I think I still have Bobo number 1 on it. I'd have Taco, maybe Bobo 1.
Fantastic. His player build, the way he moves, he can do no wrong. Coming in number 2 for me, no question about it. Invincible Yao Ming, 7'6", 7'5" wingspan. The best offensive player in all of 2K. That's what I'm going to say. He's the best offensive player in all of 2K. If he just got a little better defensive animations, he'd be my favorite card in the game, the best card in the game. But the
cannot play defense in next gen.
Are not comparable to Taco Fall. The invincible Taco Fall. My best card we saw
unstoppable.
in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM.
Unstoppable.
8'2" wingspan makes a difference.
Unstoppable.
Obviously, he does have the jump shot 47. Base
he is unstoppable.
Hot spots are a little bit of an issue. I'm not going to sit here and say they aren't. They're a little bit of an issue, but they're not enough of an issue to keep him from being my best center in
unstoppable.
Defensively, the best card in the game as well. So that is going to wrap it up for my top 100 players in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM.
I don't really mind that. Like, outside of Cedric, the only that's really the only major problem I have. Like, Clay shouldn't be on the top 100 and he's like 60. Cedric should be 30 spots higher than Clay anyway, and he's like 90. He's in the 80s. But other than that though, I don't mind the list. And that's the video. As always, go subscribe to Ty. And thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.